It's no secret that Africa has enormous mineral potential, but few companies are actually specializing in developing large lithium deposits on the continent. Some jurisdictions are quite easy to work in, others can be more challenging but also rewarding. What many investors seem to know is that the Chinese seem to get along very well sub-Saharan. And the biggest Chinese lithium company, Ganfeng Lithium, has a strategic focus on African lithium. But they aren't doing it alone. They have big help with a 50-50 JV partner. Today I'm speaking with Dr. Tom Benson, the CEO of Lithium Africa, Ganfeng's partner. Welcome to Mining Scout, Tom.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, awesome. So thanks so much for joining. Maybe Tom, can you, like us starting the interview, give us a personal background here about yourself, your past work experience, maybe your PhD, and how the connection with Ganfeng took place in the first place?
Yeah, for sure. I'm an American. I was born in New Jersey, but I did my undergraduate in geology at Harvard University and PhD at Stanford University in volcanoes and lithium. And volcanoes, people ask often, why volcanoes? Why lithium? Well, 100% of the world's lithium comes from volcanoes or magma chambers associated with them. So when I did my PhD in lithium and volcanoes, it was only natural that as it was finishing and the lithium boom was starting, I was then very employable. So I went over to a company called Lithium Americas, where we then went from greenfield to exploration to defining the largest mineral resource for lithium on the planet in Thacker Pass, Nevada. And that project is now funded by the US government and General Motors and is being built currently. Once that turned into more of a construction project, I went over full time to Lithium Argentina, which at one time those two companies were together. But when the company split, I went over to the Argentine side, and there once again developed from greenfield all the way through now production, which is the largest lithium producer from lithium brines in Argentina. That is a joint venture with Ganfeng Lithium. And then, so now that's under production. It's 40,000 tons per year of lithium carbonate.
Yeah.
And then we also have a second development project there, also a joint venture with Ganfeng Lithium, the Pozuelos Pastos Grandes project, which is now, I think, the third or fourth largest brine deposit globally.
So it seems you're
The
focusing
second
on
being
big things, yeah, and you have the right partner.
exactly, yeah, big lithium deposits. I don't want small ones, I think another key point there is the partnership with Ganfeng Lithium. I've had a decade of experience partnering with them. I'm close with the CEO of Ganfeng. I'm going there to visit their production facilities in China next month in one of their mines there. So it's quite a great partnership. And I'm excited to now, as I leave left Lithium Argentina, and now the CEO of Lithium Africa, to continue that relationship with Ganfeng Lithium to define the world's largest lithium deposit.
Yeah, and as for my introduction, so the Chinese like seem to get along in Africa, yeah, and that's I mean, you as a lithium expert in exploration, but also development, is that what are you bringing to the table that this partnership makes valuable for Ganfeng?
Yeah, I think one of the things that I think I bring to the table personally is, I'm pretty well regarded as one of the world's leading experts in lithium resources, how they form, how to explore for them, and how to define projects of scale. And Ganfeng recognizes that. And so since I've come on board and with my predecessor, Tyron, who did a great job building the company and bringing it public, we've put together an amazing team of geologists, African deal makers, and during the downturn, we were counter-cyclical, and we acquired over 4,000 square kilometers of ground, highly prospective for lithium throughout the continent. With Ganfeng as our partner, we were able to raise money too. We went public,
Yeah.
and so now we're cashed up. We have an amazing team. We have an amazing partner, and our goal is to basically define the African lithium frontier. There's no other company out there that is doing what we're doing at the scale we're doing with the team
Yeah.
and the partnership that
Yeah,
we're
I have a
doing.
few single project companies, yeah, but not the real big
Yeah.
vision. And sometimes
Exactly.
you need a couple of prospects in order to define some world class, yeah, and then strategically focus on that. What would you say is your current flagship project or the projects you see the biggest potential?
Right. So as I mentioned, there's over 4,000 square kilometers of ground that we have or licenses across the continent, and that's across 6 different jurisdictions. But what we're really doing right now is we're focusing most of our capital on our two anchor projects, one of which is the Adzopé project in Côte d'Ivoire, the other being the Springbok project in South Africa. So we have projects all over amazing perspective ground, but across the continent. But really, right now, we're focusing on those two while we progress some other projects in the background.
Yeah, awesome. Tell us about the projects. What's development stage, scope? What is it to work in these jurisdictions?
Yeah. So it's an amazing place to work. Like, if you think of I forget the exact number, but something like 80% of the world's gold comes from the Johannesburg area of South Africa, right? So
It
there's a
used to,
lot of
yeah.
yeah. So there's a lot of mining history throughout the
Mm,
continent. A lot of gold comes from West Africa too. There's a lot of great talent, really smart people that have been, and mining has been going on for centuries there. And so it's a great place to do work. It's very low cost. So one of the other added benefits of doing business there is 9 of the 10 lowest cost spodumene producers globally are in Africa. The only one being lower is Greenbushes out of Australia. So if you want low cost spodumene that will survive the downturn in this very volatile industry, you want to be in Africa if you're betting long term.
yeah.
So because of that, what we want to do, we want to take advantage of that low cost regime, but we also understand that there's risk in Africa, right? As you mentioned, there's a lot of different countries, and even within those different countries, there could be problematic areas to do business in. And so what we've done is we brought the focus to these two projects, as I mentioned. And I'll first go through, because you asked about specifics. My favorite one, because the geology is exposed all on the surface of the earth, so it's a geology stream. There's no vegetation, there's no soil. It is the Springbok project in South Africa. So there are three aspects of this project that I like, and we acquired this last year for $4 million. Uh, when spodumene was $500 a ton, now it's $2,000 a ton or so. The three aspects that I like are one, there is a stockpile sitting on the surface of the earth that was mined by the previous operator, 30,000 tons at over a weight percent lithium. We're undergoing currently a process to sell that stockpile to get our money back and hopefully then some from what we've spent for the whole project. So that's the first aspect. The second is that is a 1,700 square kilometer prospecting right. And throughout that whole prospecting right, we've identified over 40, a little more now, spodumene bearing pegmatites throughout the whole project. And so these spodumene is the mineral that lithium is in for those your listeners that aren't aware. And that mineral spodumene occurs in an ore body called a pegmatite. So you're chasing these pegmatite bodies. At this project, they're about 10 meters wide or so. And so we have over 40 of them just sitting on the surface of the earth, ready to be explored and drilled.
And did were they identified by the previous operator, or is
Some of
that?
them were,
Yeah,
some of
because
them were,
it
and there was
sounds
some, yeah,
like a huge package where you already know because you see the mineralization, yeah, that something is there. You have to prove it, of course, with
yeah,
drilling and advanced exploration techniques. Yeah, but you can be pretty sure that where you're working there will be something, and you get the
exactly.
scope of the whole project. So I'm like maybe like illustrate. Of course, you can only say so much, but illustrate like how big could this be if
Right.
like all for 40 prospects are mineral like bearing.
Yeah, right. So I think a good example of this comes to the third aspect of the project that I'm really excited about is that within this giant prospecting right, there's a 5 hectare mining right or a mining permit. So we could start mining tomorrow. if we wanted. And so we're primarily an exploration company. That's where our focus is, but we are exploring options there. So in this mining right, that's where the stockpile came from, that really high grade material it's like 1.6 weight percent, according to the previous operator. In that pegmatite, that ore body that they mined it from, they've identified in their 43-101 report, there's 40,000 tons there. And then we're drilling 3,500 meters right now. The drills are turning there. And so we're drilling to test and expand upon their previous resource, which was very limited in scope. What they did, they went bankrupt in the middle of their drill campaign, but their historical drill results are for those that are know how the lithium industry works. They and report in lithium oxide. So their best intercepts were about 18 meters at about 1.9% lithium oxide, and then 33 meters at about a little over 1% lithium oxide. So these are really good results, but they drilled sort of paralleled and missed most of the ore bodies. So we've done a lot of really high tech geological mapping and also low tech, very like classic geological techniques to re-identify on the surface, because as I mentioned, it's well exposed, to identify where we think the ore body is. We modeled it in 3D, and we're drilling it now to test our model. And so those results should be out soon. But to your question about what this scale could be, of course, I can't provide any numbers for you for regulatory reasons, but I'd like to think of the Sigma Lithium, which is a Brazilian operator. It's a checkerboard pattern of all these different companies, but there's a lot of soil and vegetation. They have pegmatite bodies that are roughly the same size of ours, somewhere between 5 and 8 pegmatite bodies that they've modeled, and they are a $1.5 billion company. And our current market cap is 35 million Canadian. So it just shows you, I'm not saying that we're going to be there. That's a forward-looking
No,
statement.
but it's helpful.
If it
I get it. And I mean, that's what investors are looking at. Yeah, so they look at the valuation and if this is, I don't know, a certain market cap, and I think like 37 or something, shy of 40 Canadian. Yeah,
Mhm.
and yeah, there's good upside here. Yeah, because
Right.
yeah, it seems to be there. We have to prove it, of course. Yeah, and before we come into like what's ahead, maybe lead us through the shareholders and the financial situation again. What can you say here?
Right. So Ganfeng is our largest shareholder. They're
Mm.
at about 13, a little over 13% at the corporate level. And then pretty much all of our projects, except for the South Africa one that I just talked about, are within the JV. So there's a 50-50 projects where they match our exploration spend. So we put in $500,000 of drilling. Ganfeng puts in 500,000 of drilling. We have $1 million drill program. So that's one of the main benefits to investing in our company is the exploration spend is double, especially because of this partnership. But if we look at, we have about a little over 6 million Canadian in the bank in corporate cash. We have no debt. Our drill programs at Springbok, as well as our program in Côte d'Ivoire that I'm sure we can get to in a minute, they're both fully funded. We've raised, we have a really good track record of raising money. We've raised just under $30 million since 2021. And, there was some high in there, then there was a low, and we went public while I think the week the Iran war started. So no one was throwing money in, but we raised almost 9 million Canadian at $2 a share in March, Canadian. So I think people invest in us because of our team. We are the world's best lithium explorers with the world's best partner in Ganfeng. So in addition to Ganfeng, we have some institutional shareholders that are wonderful, including Purpose Investments. I think they're just under 10%. Management has about 16%. And everyone is aligned. These are long holders, and the very little liquidity by design. One of our results from our drill program, our main catalyst coming up are our 2 drill programs and the sale of our stockpile. We expect those. The reason why we keep the share structure so tight is so we can have a re-rate upon good news.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Maybe before we look forward to the next 6 to 12 months, what you have to do, and can you just lead us back to Côte d'Ivoire to to
Yeah,
to the
yeah. So
second
this
project?
project is, yeah, this it's Côte d'Ivoire is an amazing place to do business. This project is just over an hour and a half from the port of Abidjan on a paved road. The trucks from Goulamina, which Ganfeng, our partner, has the largest lithium operation in Africa. They're in Mali, north of us. Their trucks come right by our project to go to the port. So they're very excited about this because there could be some synergies with logistics there. But what we're doing there is we've identified uh, spodumene occurrences. Now, this is very different from South Africa. It is in the tropics. There's a lot of soil and it's jungle terrain. And so it's very difficult to do exploration there, but our team is incredible there. We've done auger drilling and identified an anomaly we're calling the Sabi trend. It's over 350 meters wide by 3 kilometers long of anomalous soil around our spodumene occurrences that we've identified. And now we have a 2,000-meter drill campaign going as we speak. The drill rig is spinning, an RC drill campaign. So we're really excited about that because it's a great jurisdiction. Synergistic with Ganfeng's operation in Goulamina in Mali, and we have it's just a great place to do business in Côte d'Ivoire. So we're very excited about that as well. We also have a much larger land package in Ivory Coast. Over the whole region is really prospective for lithium. We're doing regional exploration work. We've identified spodumene in our other licenses. So it's a really exciting place to do work, and the team is
Yeah.
working day in and day out there.
Okay. What can investors expect in the next half year?
Right, so our three main catalysts, as I mentioned, by the end of the year, are one, our results from Adzopé in Côte d'Ivoire, that drill campaign, 2,000 meters. Second, our results from our 3,500-meter drill campaign, which is RC and diamond drilling. That's also ongoing now at Springbok. And third, by year end, the stockpile sale. So we're contemplating a lot of options associated with the stockpile because of that, because it's also there's that mining right there. Our main focus is actually exploring and doing these drill campaigns and doing that. So those are the three main catalysts to look out for. Also, because Explore by Nature, as I mentioned, we're doing a lot across many jurisdictions that are public and not, and so we always are looking at inbound opportunities, and some of them are very, very exciting to us. So yeah, we people come to us because of the team and our partnership, and I think that is the reason to invest in us and look out for us.
Yeah, that's the conclusion investment thesis I was looking for the last questions. Yeah, so anything else you would like to add, Tom?
Yeah, I think one of the other things that you know I brought in since becoming CEO is some upper management that is really well respected in the space. Ernie Ortiz, who is the former CEO of Lithium Royalty Corp, is joining the board. He's actually here with me in Lisbon right now, and we're talking about some things. Also, John Kanellitsas, who is the chairman of Lithium Argentina and was the executive chairman of Lithium Americas. He's built it on the board those two companies, been my mentor for a decade, and also great relationship with Ganfeng. Both of them have. They're joining the board come next month, and so not only are we building management, but we're building a board that's built for growth, and with the idea of building something big, substantial with Ganfeng as our partner, and to really take advantage of the fact that Africa has amazing resources, but has seen a fraction of the world's exploration
Yes.
spend. So we're the right team, the right time, the right jurisdiction to go after and define the African lithium frontier.
And maybe for investors the right valuation, yeah, because there's room up, and yeah, we will see and look forward to seeing more of the success and development of Lithium Africa. So for everyone who wants to look it up, it's listed on the TSX Venture Exchange under the symbol LAF. You can also find it on the German side in Frankfurt, for example. And Tom, thank you very much. It's been an amazing introduction. Yeah, and see you soon.
Dankeschön.